All right, we're sitting here, 6 a.m., Mexico, Sander Kleinenberg, one of my idols, ladies and gentlemen, one of my idols growing up as a kid. We see that you use digital video for your concerts.
I always sort of try to revamp myself after 2, 3, 4 years, come up with a new concept. So started This Is about 2 years ago, and it's like a multimedia sort of video, audio experience where, I treat my DJ sets more like a collage that involves, as well sound as video. So it's exciting.
In 2003, you founded your record label, Little Mountain Records. Is there any significance to the name, and what can we expect from Little Mountain Records in the next year?
Well, Little Mountain means Kleinenberg. It's English for Kleinenberg.
Okay, now I get it.
It's like a loose translation, but it's like Kleinenberg. So that explains the name. Little Mountain is like my baby. It's like I always wanted to build something along my career that give something give energy back to the scene in the form of music, and also give a sort of a fundament for up-and-coming producers and DJs, and be a platform for all those different aspects of what my career entitles. And it's kind of growing as I grow. It's like how I grow as a DJ. That's how the label grows. And this year looks really promising. We have some really hot new producers that we signed recently. We have a guy from Holland called Patch Park who's really good. We got Prince Jan and Dennis Ryer who are doing amazing remixes at the moment. It's the Music Junkie. Rene Ames, I almost forgot him. He's like super hot producer who makes sickest beats. He could be like, Timbaland of house music, because his sound is just so out of this world. And I'm recording really hard at the moment. Spending a lot of time in the studio and working on ideas, and potentially coming up with an album end of this year.
Tell our fans a little bit about your mixer and why it's different and how you're associated with it.
Well, it's the SVM 1000, which is a Pioneer developed mixer that mixes both audio and video. So it's like an audio video mixer. So it's just not just video, but in the same movement and with the same fader you mix video as well, which is like creates this whole new dimensions in the DJ world, because audio video DJing is like a dream come true, because it's like those two media forms coming together, and it just, like I said, it gives a whole new way of being creative behind the decks and creating your own content and creating a show that's really special and that has your stamp all over it, not just from the audio but also visually. And it's like whenever I bring that mixer and whenever we set up and we test case the whole thing, you have white screens everywhere, but like as soon as we drop the content on those screens, it's like, we're doing something special. We're bringing, a little more to the party than just other people's music. We give it our own touch, and we take over the room, both audio and visually, which is wicked and amazing.
Do you think that in the coming years, audio visual is going to become a necessity for DJs, or do you think it's just by preference?
I'm not going to lie, I was the first who did it and started using it, only because I was interested in trying to find a combination between audio and video, and by the time I was exploring, Pioneer came with this press release that they're going to release this DVD mixer, DVD player that's also like, same as a CDJ player that you can mix with and pitch and all that, and I was like, okay, I've got to have one of those. Back in the days, it was only the DVJs though that you could work with. There was no mixer, so it's like I had to do the mixing of the video on a separate output and whatever. That was quite difficult. So, I went through all the hard, the hard knocks, so to speak, and helped Pioneer develop this mixer because of what I had experienced on the road and what I thought would be interesting to work with and what would be the features needed in a mixer like this. And so, co-developed it with Pioneer. Went to Japan and they came to Holland and we, co-engineered it, and they came back with some test programs, and I had to check it out if it was cool. It was a great experience. But now it's like you see other DJs picking up on it. It's like Armin's using it, Thijs is using it sometimes, Chesto. There's Tom Novi from Germany and Sandra Collins from America. So slowly, more and more DJs are picking up on it because, like I said, it's a tough world out there. It's a competitive world, and you can't get away with just playing other people's records. You have to bring something special to the table, and whether it's your own production and your own sort of on-the-fly remixing and all kind of trickery that you can bring along in the form of software or whatever you want to use, I decided to use video. You know, I think video is just a great little concept that just adds that little extra value to what you do. And I mean, you visualize what you do, and that makes it special and quite powerful if you use it right.
In our efforts to bring Sander Kleinenberg and his fans together, before the show we went out and asked some of your fans what they wanted to hear and what they wanted to know. We have, what's your name?
Romina.
We got Romina here, and she has a question for Sander Kleinenberg. What's your question, Romina?
First of all, I love his job. He gets to play sick-ass music, sick-ass places, and travel around the world, but I want to know how much you get laid, like per night, you know?
She wants to know, Sander, how many times you get laid per night, per city?
I don't know, like 100 times a week.
What's your name?
Aurora.
Aurora. I like that one. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico, North Mexico.
And you're here to see Sander Kleinenberg?
Of course, yeah.
What's your question? What's the one question you would want to ask Sander Kleinenberg?
How do you stay so good looking?
How do you stay so good looking?
I use baby foreskin. Well, I mean, the one thing is, if you're on the road like I am, and like you're constantly traveling, you can't fuck up. I mean, I don't do a lot of drugs. You know, I don't do a lot of drinking. It's like you gotta, if anything, you gotta keep it moderate. Whenever I DJ, it's, you know, water, and that's it. You know, it's like you know, you just can't go. I mean, you can, but you'll end up looking. Whatever. I mean, it's just bad for you, as everybody knows. And nightlife is bad as it is, you know, for a lot of reasons. But if you then start fucking it up again with, on top, you know, with like, you know, the bad life, you know, it shows, you know.
What's your name?
James.
James. David. Nice to meet you.
David, how you doing,
Where are
man?
you from?
England.
England. We got someone here all the way from England coming to BPM Mexico just to hear Sander Kleinenberg. What's your question?
If you're a young man, you know, what does it take to be like a big-time DJ, you know?
Well, I mean, it's obviously become a little bit more complicated lately because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people who are trying to make it. And there's only really one way to make it, and that's do it yourself. Like, you know, throw your own parties, be your own promoter, and, you know, set it up from scratch and slowly build it. And don't think with the first sign of, you know, a little bit of success that you've made it. It's just a sign that you got to keep working and work hard, and, you know, don't get carried away in the moment, but always focus on, you know, the next record or the next gig or the gig in 6 months, or, you know, what's next year going to look like. You know, you should never really sort of look around and enjoy the moment too much, because the first 10 years of your career, it's all about the next moment and not about the moment that you live in. But it's like, I mean, obviously you can enjoy that to get the energy, but you can't live it, you know. You have to stay focused. I mean, that's just the way it is, you know. And there's a lot of people out there who have a couple of hit records and they're on Beatport and they're #1, you know, and they fucking dress funny, and then next thing you know, they find an online community that consists of 17-year-old spotty boys, you know, who think it's cool to vote for DJs, and the next thing you know, they actually think that they've made it, whereas they've only just started, you know. And that's something that this scene really needs to understand. And a DJ is not someone who makes a few records in his living room and then all of a sudden is a star and, you know, can walk away and whatever and do whatever he wants. It's a trade that you learn, and you have to, in most cases, you need 10 years, you know, 15 years of experience before you really start to learn how it is to work a crowd and how it is to truly master this craft, because it is a craft, and you know, it needs a lot of work.
Wow, that's words of wisdom from Sander Kleinenberg, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
You know, that's all. I mean, yes, that's all fucking serious. In the end of the day, obviously it's a party. Okay, I understand that, and never forget that it is a party. But this is something that you need to keep in the back of your mind. It's like, stay focused, you know, and learn every day and grow, you know.
There you have it. Sander Kleinenberg, all the way from the Netherlands here in Mexico. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thanks very much. And you kids keep watching The Firm. I do it. You should do it. Do it. Do it.